Hey, what up, homies? It's your man's Coach SMETA. We coming to you live from our PS3. It is Season 6, Episode 1 of our UNT Dynasty, and say it with me now. Defending national champions. It took us 5 seasons, man. It took us 5 seasons to go from where we started a while back to national champions. We absolutely slapped Alabama around, and you know, I think we were over 300 yards or close to it, and we did it. We finally did it. Now that comes with consequences. The team is new. We got new goals. We got, you know, a new scheme, new philosophy, new everything. So we're just gonna get right into it and break it down. This will be a longer episode just because we got to introduce, you know, some new characters. We gotta, you know, we said goodbye to some guys. We saw it coming, and now it's time for new guys to step up. That is college football. So as you see, we got Army coming up. They are surprisingly loaded, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's start with what's new about this. You know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna have to split this up in 2 parts. We'll do all the stuff that's new, and then we'll actually play the game. So first things first, you know, when you win a national championship, you're gonna lose your coordinators. You just are. You know, we lost Coach I believe it's Jones and Wilcox. I didn't even know the names, but we got Dan Enos. I might be butchering that. And Joseph Gillespie. Gillespie, he's a man defense guy. He's a also a 3-3-5 guy. So we're gonna stay in the 3-3-5. We're very young defensively. Like, we're young and unproven, very athletic. We've got some speed in the back end now. We've got real speed back there, but we are very young. Hopefully he can help, you know, ease us into what we want to be offensively. It's really Coach Miller, and then Enos is going to just reinforce that. Offensively, we went back to the spread option playbook. We're going to be very simple. The concepts we're carrying into every game. A lot of inside zone, counter, bubble screens, tunnel screens, a lot of quick hitters. You know, the passing game isn't going to be very sophisticated. The run game, it's going to be very multiple. We're going to use our athletes and ride, of course, our Heisman hopeful Vincent Galloway in this just plethora of offensive weapons that we have. We lost some, but we're getting to the point where we want to retool. You know, we're not deep, but we're getting there. You know, year by year. That's going to be our problem right now. Is we're not Bama, we're not Clemson, we're not Oklahoma, we're not Texas yet, but we're getting there. Like, looking at our roster, there's obviously some familiar faces, and then there's new faces. We'll talk about the familiar ones first. Obviously, Vincent Galloway. He's a junior. He started off as an athlete. He's become a quarterback. Awareness is up at 90, and the accuracy is up to 85. So, you know, now he settles into the games. He still misses some throws, but that happens. Goss is our Bolitnikov hopeful. This guy, he's just fast, great route runner. Our best route runner. We don't have a lot of guys who route you necessarily, but we do have a lot of speed. We'll be in a lot of, I want to say 11 and 12 personnel. You know, we'll have 3 receivers out there just because of the type of receivers we have, but we're going to be in a lot of 2-back stuff. We're going to be in a lot of situations where our slot receiver is a run option as well. The running back, we've never had a Joe Collins type player. We've never had this. He's going to be involved. Hawkins and Orton, they spent the offseason. Both of these guys are going to be, I wouldn't doubt if both of them are close to 1,000 yards. It could be that type of season for us. We sneaky good fullback here. This dude's a little tank, and we're going to use him this year. because at 275, 99 awareness, we're going to find ways to get him on the field and just let him blow up linebackers. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Now our receivers, they're fast, they're talented, and they're veterans, but they're not very aware. And I don't know how that's going to hurt us. I assume at some point, these are not the guys we're going to lean on, but obviously if Jackson, Goss, McDonald, they get any seams in the defense, and that's 6. Just the speed itself is what's going to cause defenses problems. We do not have Hudson Henry anymore. We lost him. He was a first-round draft pick. We have Cross. He's reliable, but he's nowhere near the talent. He's a much better actually, he's not a better blocker, but he's a bigger guy. You know, at 251, once again, another tank type guy. Mostly, we're going to be using the tight ends for blocking. We're out of the situation where they're in line. Now they're, you know, essentially going to be lead blockers, and they're going to do it well, and we're going to run behind them. Our offensive line, not the greatest. We're trying to get better there. We'll see on the recruiting board. We're trying to add depth, but we're not, by no means, we don't have any war daddies. You know, we don't have any just maulers out there, but decent. They're decent. Defensive line, we lost all 3 starters, which was a big part of, you know, our success defensively. Our players are good. Like, we got some good guys, but it's not gonna be anything like it's been the last couple of seasons. We're gonna have to deal with other teams' run games, I feel, this year more than any time than you know, outside of the first couple of seasons. We lost Williams, Dotson, all those guys. The linebackers are young, they're talented, very athletic, very long, very rangy, but young. And, you know, the awarenesses are low, and it's a lot of like certain stats, like this guy can play zone coverage, this guy blocks sheds, this guy has high speed, high acceleration. It's just going to be a bunch of mixing and matching to try to figure out how to get stops. Our secondary is probably our strongest it's ever been, mainly because of the speed and the man coverage we're running out there. A lot of 4-4, 4-3 guys on our back end. But the thing over the next 3 years that I'm gonna have the most fun with are Mr. Carter, Mr. McDougal, and Mr. Triplett. These 3 freshmen, we got Triplett and we got Carter from I believe we beat out I think it was Marshall. And McDougal we had last year, he redshirted. The speed we have from the safety position is something we have not had, and you will see in full force some of the things you can do when you've got guys back there who can run around. Like, no, you know, some of the guys we've had back there, you know, shout out to Clay, he did his thing, but he is no Chris Carter. This freshman right here, oh my goodness, we got some dudes in the back. The kicking game, oh boy, they're young. We got 2 good ones, Mr. Jenkins, especially Mr. Keith. I think Keith is going to do both duties this year, but we've got some good ones. Hopefully these guys are reliable. We will see. We've had troubles in the kicking game. It has almost cost us games. We will see. But that's a mini look at our team. We'll go in more in depth as we go through the season. This is Daryl Hopkins, true freshman out of Louisiana. Hopefully he doesn't have to play much outside of garbage time. But, you know, weirder things have happened. We'll go in depth with the recruiting later, but most of it is the tight ends, the fullbacks, and we're looking specifically for big defensive ends. You know, guys who are going to come in, and then we're going to try to get them up in that 280, close to 300 range. Because of how we play our defense, we're sticking with the Iowa State 3 high safeties, 4 eyes. You know, one backer in the middle, everybody playing A gaps, B gaps, forcing everything wide. And then behind them, athletic linebackers. And then behind them, these 90 guys, the guys who can run, the guys with the agility, the guys with the acceleration. That's mainly what we're looking for. All we need as far as needs, we need a center and we need a fullback. So the team now it's more about building depth. So like I said, we'll go more in depth in later videos as the season progresses, as far as who we're targeting and what we're looking for. But if things play out the way we want it to, we will be eventually, like I said, we won't be rebuilding, we'll be reloading. As with every year, I'm gonna put what I'm playing on in the first episode. So these are our game plan options. This is what we're playing on. These are the game rules. If you want to take a real look at them, you can always just pause. The custom AI for the user. This is how we're rolling. And then for the CPU, once again, you can pause them, you can use them. It gives me an awesome experience, and you see how the games play out. Heisman hopefuls for the season. Galloway, he starts the year off in the lead, and we're gonna try to keep him there. He's gonna be a huge part of everything we do. He was pretty efficient last year. The interceptions were a little high, but like we say, hey man, he's not a traditional quarterback. And honestly, the rushing numbers were a little low. He could have been a bigger part of the rushing game, but stuff happens. He still was a guy who was putting up, I think, over 300 and right around 350 yards a game by himself. So he's got a lot of help, and this could be his year. We're definitely expecting him to stay in the top 5, if not lead the Heisman, race all year, because he's just that dynamic. Looking at a couple of other guys, I don't see anybody on our schedule. But we do have a tough schedule this year. We do have Clemson. We've got Army. Like I said, they're surprisingly good. And Georgia Southern, who they're coming off. Their quarterback won the Heisman last year, beat us out. Preseason All-Americans. How many of them do we have on the first team? Offense, 1. Defense, 2. I'm surprised Graham Anderson over Mr. Tyler on the first team. On the second team, we have no second team. There he is, Mr. Tyler. So both of our starting corners are first team All-Americans, preseason first team All-Americans. And then in the conference, it's a lot of OU I see there. The usual suspects: Brown, Anderson, Tyler. We will see at the end of the season. Let's take a look at the second team. There's Mr. Goss. Going to be making his run for the Biletnikoff. We'll be sure to feature him. Solid offensive lineman. What? But yeah, those are the preseason All-Americans. So now let's focus on Army. Hey homies, shout out to Pride by Katana for most of the music I use in the vids. Be sure to follow on social media. I follow back. Links to all that info in the description. For more content, be sure to subscribe and click one of the links at the end of the video for more videos. Please continue to watch, like, share, and repeat. Thank you.